On this episode of Modern Greaser, we're looking at a 2008 AMG Black Series, and it's not just a regular Black Series, this sucker's blown with a Weistec supercharger. So talk about a car that is way too good to be on the program. Oh, this is it. So we're gonna take this bad boy for a ride. We're gonna talk about lots of specs and features on this thing, and tell you what, I'm not gonna ride in the back seat. You know why? Because there's not a back seat back there. It's deleted. That's how awesome this car is. And what I love about this car is how fat it looks in the back. The back tires just stick out with these massive, meaty tires. This thing is insane. Whoops, wrong music. You are looking at a very rare and exciting Mercedes CLK63 AMG Black Series. This car is so rare that the one you are looking at is one out of 350 or so that made it to the United States. Needless to say, I've only seen one of these cars on an episode of Top Gear. The original production numbers quoted a total production of 700 cars, which would later be rumored to be closer to only 500 in the world. When you start talking about colors of these cars, they get even more rare. The following is what is known about the colors. Capri blue could be considered a unicorn color because it is one of one and is assumed to be owned by someone who resides in the Netherlands. Another rare color is Magno Gray, which is a matte finish that was delivered to Scott, who is the chief editor of the AMG Private Lounge, and there's one of those. Now, there are 10 that were made in red, 2 which reside in Tampa, lucky us, 30 in white, and if you have seen a green one floating around, that one has been repainted. That is not a factory color. The rest of the color rarity is silver, followed by obsidian, which is a metallic black, as seen in this picture of the car previously owned by Simon Cowell. And lastly, the most common Black Series is non-metallic black. The colors and information is up to speculation, and I'm definitely not an expert. A lot of this information and pictures were found on different forums. As the mysterious and rare nature of this car reveals itself, we learn more about it every day. Okay, we get it, Modern Greaser. You're doing an episode on a super ultra rare Mercedes. Yeah, and it's limited colors. Okay, what's the big deal? I'll tell you what the big deal is. This thing is more rare than a unicorn that's gonna come to your house and do the laundry for you. You know why? Because this thing has a stage 2 Weistec supercharger on it. This thing's blown, man. It's blown. A lot of the information and colors about these cars are up to speculation. Now, in the case like the green car, somebody painted the car green, and having these one-offs, like the Capri blue car, who knows? Did they make a green one? The Weistec supercharger offers a whopping 150 extra unicorns. Did I say unicorns? I meant horsepower, 150 extra horsepower to the massive 6.2 liter V8 power plant. As I have mentioned, I've only seen this car on Top Gear when Jeremy Clarkson talked about it because he actually personally owned one. Doug DeMiro shared a similar story when he talked about unleashing the unrelenting horsepower that this car had to offer. Can you imagine if either one of those guys drove one with a Weistec supercharger? Their freaking mind would be like the supercharger, it'd be blown. US and European versions differed by a few interior options. Due to safety concerns, the US domestic market had cars fitted with airbags and regular CLK door cards. However, in the European markets, they didn't have airbags. Sucks to be them. Also, due to safety, The European market was limited to minimalistic racing seats, unlike the big, bolstered leather behemoths that you see in the US domestic market. Although the seats offer a lot of bolstering, I mean, these are the most bolstered seats I've ever seen in my life. They're awesome. They weigh more, almost twice as much as their European counterparts. So it's a trade-off. I think I'd take the bolstered seats any day. Any seat that can grab you like Grimace at McDonald's, is he supposed to do that? Then that's what you want. I didn't say Grimace, I meant Ronald McDonald. Does he grab? I'm thinking Michael Jackson. I'm thinking Michael Jackson. What? I'm gonna throw another knowledge bone your way and let you know that there were only 30 right-hand drive cars ever made. So that tells us how many are in the UK, or in Japan, or South Africa. Well, I mean, Australia, I think they... All right, well, I guess it doesn't really tell us where those cars went, but there's only 30 of them, so chew on that. No, I'll put pants on later. They don't know I'm not wearing pants. I don't... With the onset of new autonomous vehicles that brake for themselves and steer for themselves and drive themselves, this car gives you a ton of control. It is something from 2008 that should be cherished. If you don't have one, you ought to get yourself one. Don't get me wrong, I love the Vanimal just as much as the next guy. However, as a camera vehicle, I think it might be a little bit sketchy, considering the door can just kind of fly open and the suspension doesn't help you from staying in as much. But hey, I didn't fall out filming this, so you're welcome. I risked my life so that you can enjoy this awesome car. So lesson learned, and nobody got hurt. So that's the moral of this story.